The Alien Invasion, Earth's Last Stand. The skies over New York City crackled with energy as another volley of alien plasma bolts rained down upon the crumbling skyscrapers. Dr. Sarah Chen, lead researcher at the Central Park Zoo's Wolf Conservation Center, watched in horror from the relative safety of an underground bunker. The events of the past week played through her mind like a nightmarish film reel. It had begun with strange atmospheric disturbances, followed by the appearance of massive ships in low Earth orbit. Humanity's attempts at communication were met with silence, then violence. The aliens, a race calling themselves the Zarkov, launched a devastating first strike against Earth's major cities and military installations. Sarah's thoughts were interrupted by the arrival of Colonel Jack Harper, his face grim and covered in soot. "Dr. Chen, we need you in the command center. The president is about to address what's left of our forces." As they hurry through the dimly lit corridors of the hastily constructed bunker, Sarah couldn't help but ask, "How bad is it, Colonel?" Harper's jaw clenched. "Bad. We've lost contact with most of Europe and Asia. The Zarkov have established beachheads on every continent. Our conventional weapons are barely scratching their armor." They entered the command center, a chaotic space filled with military personnel and civilian experts frantically working at computer terminals. On the main screen, the haggard face of the president appeared. "My fellow Americans, citizens of Earth," the president began, her voice strained but determined. "I won't sugarcoat the situation. We are facing the greatest threat in human history. The Zarkov have technology far beyond our own, and they've made it clear that they see our planet as nothing more than a resource to be conquered and stripped bare." Sarah listened intently as the president outlined the dire situation. Billions were already dead or missing. The world's militaries were in disarray, and the Zarkov showed no signs of slowing their advance. "But we will not go quietly into the night," the president continued, her voice gaining strength. "Humanity has faced extinction-level events before, and we have always found a way to survive. I'm calling on every person, every nation, to unite in this darkest hour. We must pool our resources, our knowledge, and our determination if we are to have any hope of driving back these invaders." As the speech concluded, Colonel Harper turned to Sarah. "Dr. Chen, I know you're probably wondering why you're here. You're a wolf expert, not a soldier or a weapons specialist." Sarah nodded, confusion evident on her face. "I've been wondering that since you brought me in, Colonel. How can my expertise possibly help in this situation?" Harper led her to a side room where several other scientists and military strategists were gathered. "We're exploring every possible avenue to fight the Zarkov. One of our operatives managed to retrieve some data from a downed alien scout ship. It seems the Zarkov have an unusually strong aversion to certain Earth mammals, particularly canines." A holographic display flickered to life, showing alien physiological data. Dr. Amit Patel, a renowned xenobiologist, pointed to several highlighted areas. Their sensory organs are hypersensitive to the pheromones produced by Earth's canine species. In particular, they seem to have an almost paralyzing reaction to wolf pheromones. Sarah's scientific curiosity was piqued despite the grim circumstances. "Fascinating. But how does this help us? We can't exactly weaponize wolf smell." Colonel Harper's eyes gleamed with a mix of desperation and hope. "Maybe we can, Doctor. We're thinking outside the box here. The Zarkov have us outgunned in every conventional sense, but if we can use Earth's own ecosystem against them, maybe we have a chance." Over the next few hours, Sarah found herself in intense discussions with military strategists and fellow scientists. The plan that emerged was as brilliant as it was insane. Train wolves to work alongside human soldiers, using their natural abilities to disrupt Zarkov operations and provide an edge in combat. As the meeting concluded, an alarm blared through the bunker. "Zarkov forces detected approaching Manhattan," a voice announced over the intercom. Colonel Harper sprung into action, barking orders to his troops. Sarah followed him back to the main command center, where they watched in horror as alien dropships descended on the city. The Zarkov ground forces were a terrifying sight. Standing nearly 8 feet tall, their bodies were covered in an iridescent, armor-like exoskeleton. They moved with inhuman speed and grace, cutting through the remaining human defenses like a hot knife through butter. Sarah's heart sank as she watched the aliens systematically destroy everything in their path. The few remaining human military units fought bravely, but their weapons seemed to have little effect on the Zarkov armor. As the battle raged on, Sarah's mind raced. Could wolves really make a difference against such a technologically superior foe? It seemed like a long shot, but at this point, humanity had nothing left to lose. Suddenly, the bunker shook violently. "They've breached the outer defenses," someone shouted. Colonel Harper grabbed Sarah's arm. "We need to evacuate. There's a secret tunnel that leads to a hidden airfield. We're getting you and the other key personnel out of here." As they rushed through the tunnel, the sounds of battle grew louder. Sarah could hear the alien weapons discharging, the screams of the wounded, and the crumbling of concrete and steel. They emerged into the cool night air, where a few transport helicopters waited. As Sarah climbed aboard, she took one last look at the burning city. The Zarkov ships loomed overhead, their massive forms blotting out the stars. As the helicopter lifted off, Sarah saw something that made her breath catch in her throat. In the ruins of Central Park, a small pack of wolves emerged from the shadows. They howled mournfully at the chaos around them, their cries seeming to echo humanity's own anguish. In that moment, a spark of hope ignited in Sarah's chest. Perhaps these remarkable creatures, who had survived and thrived on Earth for millions of years, could indeed be the key to humanity's survival. As they flew away from the fallen city, Sarah turned to Colonel Harper. "All right, Colonel, let's make this work. Tell me everything you need to know about wolves, and let's figure out how to turn them into Earth's best defense against the Zarkov." Harper nodded grimly. "I'm glad you're on board, Doctor, because right now, those wolves might be humanity's last hope." The helicopter sped through the night, carrying with it the seeds of a desperate plan. As the burning cities faded into the distance, Sarah Chen steeled herself for the challenges ahead. The war for Earth's survival was just beginning, and humanity would need every advantage it could get. Little did the celebrating Zarkov know, their greatest nightmare was about to be unleashed, not in the form of advanced technology or weapons, but in the primal fury of Earth's own children. The wolves were coming, and with them, humanity's fighting spirit would be reborn. The Wolf Pack Initiative. The hidden research facility nestled in the Rocky Mountains hummed with activity. Dr. Sarah Chen stood before a massive holographic display, her eyes darting between real-time satellite imagery and complex data streams. 6 months had passed since the fall of New York, and humanity's situation had only grown more desperate. Status update on Project Lupine, Dr. Chen. General Amelia Hawthorne's voice crackled through the intercom. The stern military leader had been skeptical of the Wolf Plan at first, but desperation had a way of opening minds. Sarah took a deep breath. "We've made significant progress, General. The neural interface is functioning at 87% efficiency. Our wolf partners can now receive basic commands and relay sensory data back to their human handlers." On cue, the main doors slid open, revealing an extraordinary sight. A team of soldiers entered, each accompanied by a magnificent wolf. The animals moved with purpose, their eyes gleaming with an intelligence that seemed almost human. "Impressive," General Hawthorne murmured, approaching one of the wolf soldier pairs. "But will it be enough to turn the tide against the Zarkov?" Before Sarah could respond, alarms blared throughout the facility. Red warning lights bathed the room in an eerie glow. "Perimeter breach," a technician shouted. Zarkov's scout team detected approaching from the northeast. General Hawthorne's face hardened. "It's time to put your wolves to the test, Dr. Chen. Deploy the Lupine squad." Sarah's heart raced as she turned to the wolf soldier teams. "Remember your training. Work together, trust your instincts, and above all, protect each other. As the teams moved out, Sarah rushed to the command center. The main screen displayed a tactical map of the surrounding area. A group of red dots, representing the Zarkov scouts, was moving swiftly through the forest. Lupine Squad, engage stealth protocol, Sarah instructed through the comm system. On the screen, she watched as the blue dots representing the wolf teams spread out, encircling the alien intruders. The next few minutes were tense as Sarah and the command staff watched the operation unfold. Suddenly, one of the red dots vanished from the screen. Confirmed kill, a soldier's voice reported. The wolves, they're incredible. The aliens never saw them coming. More red dots began to disappear as the Lupine Squad struck from the shadows. The wolves' natural hunting instincts, combined with their advanced neural interfaces, made them nearly invisible to the Zarkov's advanced sensors. But the aliens were quick to adapt. The remaining red dots clustered together, their weapons firing wildly into the forest. Alpha Team, fall back, Sarah ordered, watching as one of the blue dots flickered dangerously. Beta and Gamma, flank from the east and west. The battle raged on, a deadly dance of shadows and technology. Sarah's fingers flew over the holographic controls, coordinating the wolf teams with a precision that would have been impossible just months ago. Finally, after what felt like hours, the last red dot vanished from the screen. The forest fell silent. All Zarkov targets neutralized, the squad leader reported, his voice filled with awe. No human casualties, 2 wolves injured but stable. A cheer erupted in the command center. For the first time since the invasion began, humanity had scored a clear victory against the alien menace. General Hawthorne turned to Sarah, a rare smile on her face. Dr. Chen, I believe you've just changed the course of this war. As the Lupine Squad returned to base, Sarah rushed to meet them. The soldiers looked exhausted but triumphant. The wolves, despite their injuries, stood tall and proud. One wolf, a magnificent silver-gray female named Aurora, approached Sarah. Through the neural interface, Sarah felt a wave of emotions. Pride, determination, and a fierce protectiveness. Aurora gently pressed her muzzle against Sarah's hand, and in that moment, an unbreakable bond was formed. We did it, girl, Sarah whispered, tears in her eyes. We really did it. But their celebration was short-lived. An urgent message flashed across the main screen. Breaking news. Zarkov launched major offensive in Europe. London, Paris, and Berlin under heavy attack. General Hawthorne's voice cut through the sudden silence. Dr. Chen, how quickly can you prepare the Lupine Squad for deployment to Europe? Sarah looked at Aurora, then at the brave soldiers and wolves around her. Give us 24 hours, General. We'll be ready. As the facility erupted into a flurry of activity, Sarah couldn't help but feel a glimmer of hope. The road ahead would be hard, but for the first time since the invasion began, humanity had a fighting chance. Little did they know, their success had not gone unnoticed. In the depths of space, aboard the Zarkov mothership, the alien High Command was about to receive a report that would change everything. The hunters were about to become the hunted, and the true battle for Earth was only just beginning. Operation Howling Thunder. The skies over war-torn Paris crackled with energy as Zarkov battleships loomed ominously. Below, the once beautiful city lay in ruins, its famous landmarks reduced to rubble. But amid the destruction, hope was about to emerge from the most unexpected of places. Dr. Sarah Chen crouched behind a fallen statue of Napoleon, her heart pounding. Beside her, Aurora, her silver-gray wolf partner, stood alert, ears twitching at every sound. Through their neural link, Sarah sensed Aurora's mix of excitement and apprehension. All units, prepare for Operation Howling Thunder. General Hawthorne's voice crackled through their secure comms. Remember, our objective is to take down the Zarkov command ship. Lupine Squad, you're our ace in the hole. Don't let us down. Sarah took a deep breath, looking at the brave soldiers and their wolf companions around her. "This is it, everyone. Everything we've trained for comes down to this moment." Suddenly, the ground shook as a massive Zarkov walker stomped into view. Its tentacle-like appendages whipped through the air, sensors scanning for any sign of human resistance. "Now," Sarah whispered urgently. In perfect synchronization, wolves and humans sprang into action. Aurora led the charge, her powerful legs propelling her forward with incredible speed. The other wolves followed, each moving in perfect harmony with their human partners. The Zarkov walker's sensors went haywire as it detected the approaching wolves. Before it could react, Aurora leaped onto one of its legs, her sharp claws finding purchase in the alien metal. Other wolves attacked from different angles, confusing the walker's targeting systems. Sarah and the human soldiers provided covering fire, their specially designed weapons disrupting the Zarkov's energy shields. The walker stumbled, its movements becoming erratic as it tried to shake off the wolf attackers. "EMP charges ready," shouted Lieutenant Rodriguez, one of the squad's tech experts. Sarah nodded. "Do it." Rodriguez activated the charges, and a pulse of electromagnetic energy rippled through the air. The Zarkov walker's systems flickered and died, and the massive machine toppled to the ground with an earth-shaking crash. But there was no time to celebrate. More Zarkov forces were converging on their position, alerted by the walker's distress signal. "Phase 2, initiate," Sarah commanded. The lupine squad split into smaller teams, each heading for pre-designated targets across the city. Sarah, Aurora, and a small group made their way towards the Eiffel Tower, where intelligence suggested a key Zarkov communication hub was located. As they moved through the ruins of Paris, Sarah marveled at the seamless cooperation between humans and wolves. What had started as a desperate experiment had evolved into something truly extraordinary. The neural interfaces allowed for instant communication and coordination, while the wolves' natural abilities gave them an edge the Zarkov couldn't counter. Reaching the base of the Eiffel Tower, they encountered heavy resistance. Zarkov soldiers, their armor gleaming in the dim light, opened fire with plasma weapons. Aurora smokescreen. Sarah thought through their neural link. The wolf understood instantly. She howled, a haunting sound that echoed through the city. On cue, other wolves in the vicinity responded, their howls creating a cacophony that disoriented the Zarkov's sensitive hearing. Taking advantage of the confusion, Sarah and her team surged forward. Wolves darted between the alien soldiers, their speed and agility making them nearly impossible to hit. Human soldiers followed, using their advanced weaponry to take down the Zarkov one by one. As they fought their way up the tower, Sarah couldn't help but feel a sense of awe. This was more than just a battle. It was a testament to the unbreakable bond between humans and their oldest animal companions. Finally, they reached the communication hub. Sarah's fingers flew over the alien controls, her mind working in tandem with Aurora's enhanced senses to decipher the complex systems. "I'm in," she exclaimed, uploading the virus now. The virus, a masterpiece of human ingenuity combined with data gleaned from the wolves' unique perception of Zarkov technology, began to spread through the alien network. All across Paris, Zarkov systems began to fail. In the sky above, the massive command ship suddenly lurched, its engines sputtering. "It's working," Lieutenant Rodriguez shouted, pointing at the faltering vessel. But their victory was short-lived. A blinding light erupted from the ship, and a wave of energy pulsed outward. Sarah felt a searing pain in her head as the neural link with Aurora momentarily overloaded. When her vision cleared, Sarah saw that the Zarkov ship was retreating, but not before unleashing a barrage of missiles at the city below. "Everyone, take cover," Sarah yelled, grabbing Aurora and diving behind a fallen piece of machinery. The world around them exploded into chaos. As the dust settled, Sarah looked up to see the Eiffel Tower, that enduring symbol of human achievement, groaning and swaying dangerously. "We need to get out of here now," she ordered. As they raced down the tower, Sarah's mind was already racing ahead to the next challenge. They had won a significant victory today, but the Zarkov would undoubtedly adapt. The war was far from over. Reaching the ground just as the tower collapsed behind them, Sarah turned to her team. Humans and wolves stood side by side, battered but unbroken. In their eyes, she saw not just determination, but something more, a glimmer of hope that had been missing for far too long. "Well done, everyone," she said, her voice thick with emotion. "Today, we've shown the Zarkov that humanity and its allies are a force to be reckoned with. Tomorrow, we take the fight to them." As news of their victory spread across the globe, a new spirit of resistance began to take hold. The tide of the war was turning, and at its heart were the unlikely heroes of the Lupine Squad, proof that when humans and nature worked in harmony, there was no force in the universe that could stand against them. Little did they know, their greatest challenge was yet to come, for in the depths of space, the Zarkov were preparing a countermove that would test the limits of the human-wolf bond and decide the fate of Earth once and for all. The Cosmic Howl. The International Space Station, now a fortified command center, orbited silently above the scared Earth. Inside, Dr. Sarah Chen stood before a holographic display, her face illuminated by the swirling data streams. Beside her, Aurora sat alert, the wolf's neural implant pulsing with a soft blue light. "The Zarkov are retreating on all fronts," General Hawthorne announced, her voice tinged with cautious optimism. "But our long-range sensors are picking up something troubling." The hologram shifted, revealing a massive object approaching Earth. Its surface writhed with tentacle-like appendages, pulsating with an otherworldly energy. "Dear God," Sarah whispered, "what is that?" Before anyone could respond, a deafening psychic shriek tore through their minds. Everyone in the command center doubled over in pain, except for the wolves. Aurora and her packmates stood firm, their eyes glowing with an intense inner light. As the pain subsided, Sarah realized she could hear music. No, not music, howling. But unlike anything she'd ever heard before, it was as if the very cosmos itself was singing. "The Cosmic Howl," a voice said. Sarah turned to see an elderly man in a wheelchair entering the command center. His eyes were milky white, but he moved with purpose. "Dr. Blackwood," General Hawthorne said, surprise evident in her voice. "We thought you were dead." The old scientist chuckled. "Not quite yet, and it seems our furry friends here have some secrets left to reveal." Dr. Elias Blackwood, the original creator of the neural interface technology, wheeled himself to Aurora. The wolf regarded him calmly, then tilted her head back and let out a haunting howl. The sound reverberated through the station, and suddenly, the holographic display exploded with new information. "Incredible," Sarah breathed, her fingers flying over the controls. "The wolves, they're tapping into some kind of interstellar communication network. It's like the cosmic microwave background, but alive." Dr. Blackwood nodded. "The Zarkov aren't the first visitors Earth has had. Our wolves are the descendants of an ancient guardian species, placed here eons ago to protect our world from threats just like this." The revelation hit the room like a thunderbolt. Sarah's mind raced with the implications. That's why the neural interface worked so well. We weren't just creating a new technology, we were reawakening an ancient one. Suddenly, Aurora's eyes began to glow brighter. Through their neural link, Sarah felt a surge of something, knowledge, power? She couldn't quite grasp it, but she knew it was the key to saving Earth. "We need to get to the surface," Sarah said, her voice filled with newfound determination. "Whatever that thing is out there, the answer to stopping it is down on Earth." General Hawthorne looked skeptical. "Dr. Chen, we're facing a threat unlike anything we've ever seen. How can going to the surface possibly help?" Sarah smiled, feeling Aurora's confidence flowing through her. "Because, General, we're about to wake up the planet." Within hours, Sarah, Dr. Blackwood, and a team of wolf-human pairs were racing towards a remote location in the Siberian wilderness. As their transport flew over the vast, untouched landscape, Sarah felt a growing sense of anticipation. They landed in a clearing surrounded by ancient, gnarled trees. Aurora leaped from the transport, her paws sinking into the soft earth. She threw her head back and howled, the sound echoing through the forest. To everyone's amazement, the ground began to tremble. The trees swayed, their roots pulling free from the earth. Before their eyes, the forest began to move, revealing a massive, hidden structure beneath. The Howling Heart, Dr. Blackwood whispered in awe. The legends were true. As they approached the unearthed structure, its surface came alive with swirling patterns of light. Aurora pressed her nose against it, and a doorway materialized. Inside, they found a chamber that defied human understanding. It was as if they were standing in the heart of a living computer, pulsing with organic technology far beyond anything Earth had ever produced. Sarah placed her hand on a central pillar, feeling Aurora's presence guiding her. Suddenly, her mind expanded, connecting not just with Aurora, but with every wolf on the planet. She saw the Earth as a living entity, with the wolves as its immune system, ready to defend against cosmic threats. "It's time," Sarah said, her voice resonating with newfound power. "Let the Earth howl." As one, every wolf on the planet lifted its voice in a cosmic chorus. The Howling Heart amplified their call, sending it racing through space towards the approaching Zarkov mothership. In orbit, the massive alien vessel shuddered as the cosmic howl washed over it. Its writhing tentacles began to wither and break apart. The ship's core, a swirling vortex of dark energy, started to collapse in on itself. Back on Earth, Sarah felt the tide of battle turning. The cosmic howl wasn't just a weapon. It was a reset button for the planet's ancient defenses. All around the world, dormant structures like the Howling Heart were awakening, creating a planetary shield that no alien force could penetrate. As the Zarkov mothership imploded in a spectacular display of light and energy, cheers erupted from every corner of the globe. Humanity had faced its greatest threat and emerged victorious, thanks to the unbreakable bond between humans and their oldest allies. Sarah knelt beside Aurora, scratching behind her ears. "You were always so much more than just animals, weren't you?" she said softly. "You were our protectors, our guides to the stars." Aurora's eyes gleamed with ancient wisdom as she nuzzled Sarah's hand. Through their neural link, Sarah felt a sense of pride, not just from Aurora, but from countless generations of guardians stretching back through time. As the sun rose on a new day, humanity looked to the stars not with fear, but with wonder. The age of isolation was over. With their wolf companions by their side, humans were ready to take their place among the cosmic community, guardians of Earth and explorers of the unknown. The cosmic howl had awakened humanity to its true potential, and the adventure was only just beginning. Galactic Guardians. 10 years after the defeat of the Zarkov, Earth had undergone a transformation beyond imagination. The awakening of the planet's ancient defenses had ushered in an era of unprecedented growth and discovery. Humanity, in partnership with their wolf allies, now stood on the brink of a new frontier. Dr. Sarah Chen, now Director of Earth's Interstellar Relations, stepped onto the bridge of the ESS Aurora, humanity's first faster-than-light spaceship. The vessel hummed with a mixture of advanced technology and the organic systems derived from the Howling Heart. "Status report," Sarah commanded, her neural link with the ship providing instant feedback. "All systems optimal, Director," replied Captain Zara Rodriguez, her own wolf partner, Orion, sitting alertly by her side. "The cosmic howl drive is primed and ready for our maiden voyage." Sarah nodded, a mix of excitement and apprehension coursing through her. Earth's wolves, now recognized as a sentient species in their own right, had become integral to humanity's cosmic endeavors. Their ability to tap into the mysterious cosmic howl had revolutionized space travel, communication, and even terraforming. "Attention all crew," Sarah announced, her voice carrying throughout the ship. "Today, we embark on a journey our ancestors could only dream of. We carry with us the hopes of Earth and the legacy of our wolf guardians. Together, we will forge a new path among the stars." As the countdown began, Sarah felt a familiar presence brush against her mind. Aurora, her faithful companion for over a decade, sent waves of reassurance through their neural link. Though the wolf had grown old, her spirit remained as strong as ever. Cosmic howl drive engaging in 3, 2, 1. The ship vibrated as a haunting melody filled the air, the combined howls of the wolf crew members, amplified by the ship's systems. Space itself seemed to ripple around them, and in a flash of prismatic light, the ESS Aurora vanished from Earth's orbit. Moments later, they reappeared in a distant star system. Gasps of awe filled the bridge as they beheld a breathtaking sight, a massive space station constructed in the shape of a stylized wolf's head, orbiting a blue-green planet. It's just like the ancient prophecies," whispered Dr. Elias Blackwood, now well over 100, but kept vital by breakthroughs in wolf-inspired medical technology. A communication request pinged their systems. Sarah took a deep breath and accepted the call. A holographic image materialized, a being that appeared to be a mixture of wolf and humanoid, its fur shimmering with starlight. "Greetings, children of Earth," the being said, its voice melodious and otherworldly. "We are the Astral Pack, guardians of the cosmic balance. We have awaited your arrival for eons." Sarah stepped forward, Aurora by her side. "We come in peace and friendship," she said, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "We seek to learn and to take our place among the stars." The astral being's eyes twinkled. "You have proven yourselves worthy by reawakening your world's defenses and forming true partnerships with your guardian wolves. But your journey is far from over." Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the ship. "Multiple quantum anomalies detected," Captain Rodriguez shouted. "Something's coming through." Space twisted and warped around them as massive, shadowy forms began to emerge. They were like living black holes, their very presence seeming to devour light and hope. "The Void Hunters," the astral being said grimly. "Ancient enemies of all life in the universe. Your arrival has stirred them from their slumber." Sarah's mind raced. Everything they had faced, everything they had learned, had led to this moment. "We stand ready to fight," she declared, feeling the crew's determination surge through the neural network. The astral being nodded approvingly. "Then let the true test begin. Show us, children of Earth and wolves of old, if you are ready to become galactic guardians." As the Void Hunters closed in, Sarah felt a sudden expansion of her consciousness. Through Aurora, she connected not just with the wolves on the ship, but with every wolf back on Earth and somehow, impossibly, with wolves on countless worlds throughout the galaxy. "Everyone," she commanded, her voice resonating across space and time, "initiate the cosmic howl." The resulting sound was unlike anything the universe had ever known. It was the song of life itself, echoing from planet to planet, star to star. The ESS Aurora became a beacon of swirling, multicolored energy. The Void Hunters recoiled as the cosmic howl washed over them. Their shadowy forms began to dissolve, revealing glimpses of the stars they had once devoured. Working in perfect harmony, the humans and wolves of the Aurora coordinated their attacks. Beams of pure cosmic energy lanced out, guided by the intuition of the wolves and the precision of human technology. One by one, the Void Hunters were driven back, their essence scattered across the cosmos. As the last of them vanished, a cheer erupted throughout the ship and across the galactic neural network. The astral being's hologram smiled. "You've effaced the darkness and emerged victorious. Earth and its wolves are indeed ready to join the galactic guardians." As the crew of the Aurora celebrated, Sarah gazed out at the star-filled expanse before them. She realized that this was not an end, but a beginning. Humanity and their wolf companions had taken their first steps into a larger universe, one filled with wonders, dangers, and infinite possibilities. "Well, girls," Sarah said, scratching Aurora behind the ears, "looks like we've got a whole galaxy to protect now." Aurora's eyes gleamed with cosmic wisdom as she let out a triumphant howl, her voice joining the celestial chorus of guardians across the stars. The age of Earth's isolation was over. Together, humans and wolves would face whatever challenges the universe had in store, their bond unbreakable, their destiny intertwined with the very fabric of creation. As the ESS Aurora prepared for its next jump, Sarah couldn't help but smile. The greatest adventure in history was just beginning, and she couldn't wait to see where it would lead.